Alright, bro, welcome back to the #1 self-improvement channel on YouTube. No, I'm joking. We're not there yet, but we'll get there. This is the mindset shift that the elites don't want you to know about. And I say that because basically, bro, if you make this mindset shift and you make this shift in perspective, your life will change completely for the better. Now, as you can see, we've got a slightly different setup here. And I wanted to switch it up a little bit and just make it, make the video come across as if we're just talking to each other, right? This is just a conversation like you're speaking to one of your boys instead of me just being sat there at a desk, preaching to a camera. I wanted to do something a little bit different and I like it so far. I think it looks good. So if you see me looking down at my phone, it's because I have notes. We might as well just get straight into it. So the first shift that you need to make when it comes to changing your perspective and mindset is that everything happens in your favor. I'll elaborate on that slightly. So basically, whenever something bad happens to you, bro, whenever something negative happens to you in life, if you can start looking at that negative thing as something that has happened to you for a positive reason. I'll give you an example, right? So last year I went to a theme park, Alton Towers. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's quite a big theme park in the UK anyway. On my way home, it's about an hour away from me and like a 60-minute drive. On the way back, I popped a tire. I hit a pothole, the tire popped. And bearing in mind, this is like 11:30 at night. I'm like 45 minutes away from my house in the middle of nowhere. I hit this fucking pothole. Tire goes bang. I have to pull into a lay-by. All of a sudden, I'm pissed, right? I'm annoyed. Obviously, it's not an ideal situation to be in. I've got 3 other people in the car. And it's not enjoyable, right? It's not a good situation to be in. So now I could have seen that as a huge negative, a huge setback. I didn't get home until 4 a.m. that night, right? I should have got home at about 12. 4 hours later, I'm waiting for a pickup truck. I'm waiting for somebody to come pick me up, to come sort the tire out. And I could have seen that as a huge, huge setback, right? I could have seen that as something that I didn't really want happening to me in life. I could have seen that as a negative situation. And most people will. Most people will look at that situation and take everything from that as negative, right? This is where you have to look at things a little bit differently. And this is where I had to look at things a little bit differently. So instead of me looking at it as a negative, as a setback, as something bad that's happened to me, I saw that as a positive. I had to look at it from a different perspective. I had to have that positive outlook on it, on the situation. I had to tell myself that happened for a reason, that happened in my favor. Because let's just imagine, right? I had a crash on the way home and it killed me and the 3 other people in the car. Maybe I hit that pothole for a reason, to avoid a crash. And I know that might sound a little bit silly, bro. I know that might sound like, spiritual woo-woo fucking something, it doesn't sound like conventional advice and it doesn't sound logical. But what if it was the truth? And this is just one example, right? There's going to be plenty of other things that go wrong for me throughout the rest of my life. But every single thing that goes wrong for me from now on, I will see it as a positive. I will tell myself that it's happened for a reason, that it's happened for the greater good. Essentially, bro, I tell myself that it's happened for a reason. It's gone in my favor. Let's say you build a business and the client that you just hopped on a call with, he ends up, ghosting you. He doesn't want to work with you. You don't end up landing that client. Well, maybe that happened for a good reason. Maybe that went in your favor. Maybe that client was going to be one of the worst people that you could have ever fucking worked with in your entire life. Maybe they would have just been a massive hassle. Maybe they would have been just a horrible person to work with. You never know. You have to switch the negative into a positive. And then by doing that, you start to operate on a positive frequency, which again, you might not fucking agree with, you might not understand. Again, it sounds spiritual, right? But I believe it's the truth. I'm being honest. When you start to look at things through a positive lens, you start to see the positive in everything. And then your life starts to become a positive, right? Your life starts to get good. And vice versa, if you look at everything through a negative lens, if you look at everything with this negative outlook, well then of course you're going to see the negative in everything. Of course, things are going to happen to you that are negative, that you don't really want to happen to you. Now, that's the first mindset shift. You have to see everything that happens to you as a positive, because at the end of the day, everything that happens in life to you or to anybody else is neutral, right? It doesn't have a meaning. We give it the meaning. We label it as negative or positive. Before we label it, it's neutral. It doesn't have a negative or positive meaning. We are the ones that give it the meaning as human beings with our minds. So why not give everything a positive meaning? Why would you ever give something a negative meaning? Why would you choose to look at the negative over looking at things in a positive way? It doesn't make sense. If you want your life to improve, if you want your life to get better, well then look at things from a positive lens, from a positive perspective. That makes way more sense, does it not? So that's the first mindset shift, right? Now the second mindset shift, every mistake is a lesson. Every failure is a chance to learn. Again, it's pretty much exactly the same, right? Instead of seeing failure as a negative, you see it as a positive. Maybe you failed for a reason. Maybe that business model failed because you weren't ever going to make any money from it. Or maybe it was going to lead you down the wrong path in life. Or maybe there was something that you needed to learn and that's why you failed, right? Because you have to learn from your failures. Again, it's just about shifting that perspective. It's just about making that mindset shift, just having a different outlook on things. Because again, you have the choice, right? You have the choice to look at failure as a negative or to look at it as a positive. It's your decision. It's all based on you. No one's going to tell you how to look at things. Again, it's neutral, right? It doesn't have any meaning until you give it the meaning. Now, this is something that I've said many, many times on this channel, bro, but you really have to see every single lesson, every single failure, every single setback as an opportunity to learn, to grow. That is how you level up. Bro, just imagine if every single person on this earth that failed at something gave up straight away. We'd still be living in the fucking Stone Ages, right? We'd still be living in caves, fucking bashing warthogs with our fucking sticks, right? Like, we'd still be hunting. The reason we've got to where we are today is because people failed many, many times. People learn from their failures. You have to fail in order to learn, in order to move forward. I said it in a previous video, but bro, I'm using 3 light bulbs right now, and guess what happened to the guy that invented the light bulb? He failed 1,000 times before he invented the light bulb. Just imagine if he gave up. Where would we be today? Would we even have the fucking light bulb? Probably not. If you don't make these mindset shifts, that is you basically choosing to have a perspective on life that holds you back, and that doesn't benefit you. You're literally choosing to hold yourself back by having those negative outlooks on life. Why see failure as a negative thing, as a setback, when you can use it to move forward and to learn? Why let one small mistake ruin your day when you can use it to guide you in the right direction? Now, the third and pretty much the last mindset shift that I think you should make is to realize that 2 people can experience the exact same event and they can both have 2 completely different outcomes on the situation. And that is simply just down to how they choose to look at it, how they choose to perceive that situation or that event. So again, when you're trying to level up in life, when you're trying to improve, when you're trying to move forward and you're finding it tough, you're struggling, realize that you have a choice of which way you want to look at life, right? You can be the person with the negative outlook who thinks to himself, oh, you know, it's never going to work out. I'll be stuck like this forever. I'm never going to improve. I'm never going to level up. I'm never going to get that physique I want. I'm never going to make that money. Or you can choose to be the person who has the positive outlook, the optimistic perspective. You can sit there and think, oh, it's only a matter of time before I improve. It's only a matter of time before I get that dream physique. It's only a matter of time before I start making that money. Again, bro, you literally have the choice. There's only one of those perspectives that is going to get you far in life. And you know exactly which one it is. Because bro, you already know that progress is difficult, right? You already know it's hard to level up. Why make it harder than it needs to be? Why not make it just that tiny bit easier for yourself by having the positive outlook? And last but not least, bro, I want you to understand that if you believe everything pushes you towards success, then you will act in a way that makes that true. You will act as if that is the truth. Again, that is the frequency and the vibration that you will give off, which means that is the vibration and frequency that you will attract. So if you want your life to be positive, have a positive outlook on life. It's that simple. This world is just a reflection of your own mind. If you look at everything in a negative way, then everything will be negative. It's that simple. Switch that belief system, because when you switch that belief system, you change your entire life. I'm only here right now because that's exactly what I did 2-3 years ago. And if you want help with that, if you want help with switching your perspective, completely changing your mindset, I have an opportunity for you. Click the first link in the description. That will take you to a page where you can apply for one-to-one mentorship from me, if that's something that you might have an interest in. And I think I'm going to leave that video there, bro. I appreciate you if you watched to the end. Click and watch this video right here to help you on your self-improvement journey. Scroll down right now, click subscribe if you're new, like the video, drop a comment, share it, all of that good stuff. I'm making it my mission to help turn boys into men.